Thank you for your remarks, Jack, and for everyone for being here. My name is Matthew Schwartzman, and I serve as the Legislation and Military Policy Director for the Reserve Organization of America, the only national military organization that solely and exclusively supports the Reserve and National Guard. Now, I would say it's an honor to host you here at ROA's Minuteman Memorial Building. But the truth is, and I'm confident that I could speak on behalf of everyone here when I say this, that in an ideal world, we would not be here today. Because in an ideal world, the Major Richard Starr Act would already be signed into law. Under the Major Richard Starr Act, veterans who are medically retired from the military with less than 20 years of service and are eligible for combat-related special compensation would no longer have their military retirement reduced by an offset that is nothing short of an outrage. Military retirement pay and VA disability compensation are two different benefits established by Congress for two different purposes. Military retirement is a pension for honorable service. VA disability is compensation for a reduction in one's abilities due to service. Two utterly different things. Those watching this news conference may wonder how a bill that supports combat veterans and has earned enough support to receive constitutional consent has not even received a vote on the floor. Well, the reason is because some members of Congress, some of which were alluded to previously in VFW's remarks, believe that caring for our nation's combat injured costs too much. Can you imagine that? So while Congress spends trillions on undeclared wars, they pay the heroes who fight with one hand and take it back with the other. To those who hold that outrageous conviction, I ask you this: was the cost of losing a leg or an arm, the cost of losing hearing, or sight, or lungs that could breathe without agony, the cost of time away from family, or even the cost of life itself, was that cost too much for our nation's defenders to honor their oath to the Constitution? Was the cost of war to protect our freedoms and way of life too much? And if not for those costly sacrifices, would the American people have gathered to commemorate and celebrate the 248th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence just last week? The real cost of this bill is the cost that further congressional inaction will have on the integrity of our government. Caring for our nation's veterans, especially those who are combat injured and forced to medically retire, is not just a moral obligation. It's an institutional imperative dating back to the Continental Congress in 1776. What ROA wants, what millions of veterans and their families across the nation want and have earned, is for this Congress to cement its legacy as the one that protected rights and benefits so dearly earned by our nation's combat injured before it's too late. Thank you again for being here with us today, albeit under unfortunate circumstances. But we understand that, for we are advocates, fighting for the right and for those who depend on us to never give up. It is now my honor to call back to the podium a great friend and battle buddy of ROA, Jose from Wounded Warrior Project. Jose?